2009, I'm 23 years old, and I'm attempting to ride a motorcycle across all of Vietnam. And I swing the bike around a corner and have to slam on the brakes because right in front of me is a massive hole. And I realize that not only am I lost, but I am totally screwed. Because when I open the gas tank, I realize that if I don't find a gas station, a restaurant, or a hotel soon, I will be sleeping in the middle of the jungle during monsoon season. And I went to Southeast Asia like many young backpackers, lured by Lonely Planet's promise of authentic experiences way off the beaten path. But instead, I found what many do, a path so well trodden that it actually has a nickname, the Banana Pancake Trail. And I am determined to get off of it because I am not a tourist, I'm a traveler. And beyond that, Obama has just been elected, and I'm a self-appointed citizen diplomat of this new America that will heal the wounds of war by having beers with the locals. And it's harder than I thought. I realized 4 decades after the Tet Offensive, the enemy is not the Viet Cong, it's my fellow travelers. And I don't know how to get away from them. And I try throwing away my guidebook, but now I'm just lost. And I don't know what else to do because all the locals I meet are working in the service industry. And then I see a lead. It's a Soviet-era Minsk motorcycle, 125 cc's of Russian engineering, the workhorse of the proletariat. And I look at this thing, it's older than I am, it's bleeding motor oil all over the ground, and it's sure to kill me because I have no experience riding a motorcycle. But before I know it, I'm unzipping my money belt and I'm pulling out 1, 2, 3 crisp $100 bills that my grandmother gave me before the trip specifically so I would eat more vegetables. And I'm handing them in exchange for the keys. And I head straight for what I think is the real Vietnam, up by the border with Laos, the mountainous central highlands that used to be the Ho Chi Minh Trail, where the Viet Cong guerrillas supplied ammunition to fight people from my country. And as I leave the city behind and go up into the hills and leave behind the tropics, and I see misty mountaintops where there's hill tribe villages living in wooden huts that arch up to the heavens, and I can't help but feel like Captain Willard in Apocalypse Now going deeper into the jungle. And I cross the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, into what was once enemy territory for my country, North Vietnam, and everything instantly changes. The ground is sickly from Agent Orange. There are signs warning motorists not to step off the highway because of unexploded ordnances. And I pass places I've read about in history class where thousands died. Hamburger Hill, the Rock Pile, Khe Sanh, these battlefields empty, but for one man, an old guy selling rusted dog tags of fallen soldiers. And I can't find the road that I'm trying to follow, so I ask him for directions to Hanoi. And he points back to the coast, back to the tourist trail. And I'm like, no. He just thinks I'm a tourist. And with that uniquely American blend of arrogance and ignorance, I ignore him and turn down what I think is the right road, which is why 2 hours later, I am stuck at the end of an unfinished highway looking at a road that is in 3 stages of construction. There is dirt, there is paved roads, and most of it is gravel, which is dangerous on a motorcycle because you fishtail. And so what's even worse is when it gets dark, my headlight runs off the engine, and so I have to gun it just to see. And the dirt's flying up, and I can barely see, but when I get a piece of real road, I go for it, because I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I need to find a place to stay. But when a dust cloud hits me, I don't see that there's gravel, the bike fishtails, and I fall, and I roll. And when I get up, bruised but not dead, I go, what am I doing out here? What is this ridiculous mission of peacekeeping that I'm on? I just need to get home in one piece. And somehow I see just beyond the horizon what looks like a mirage, a roadside restaurant. Outside there are dozens of trucks. And as I get closer, I smell barbecue and I hear music. ABBA, Dancing Queen. And I limp up to the door, and inside is a sight that's impossible to believe. There's like 50 Vietnamese truck drivers in like tank tops, drinking, eating, and smoking. And when I walk up, they turn and look at me and their jaws drop because I'm bloody. I have a beard. I look, in short, like a POW that just checked out of the Hanoi Hilton. And I just can do anything but just motion for food. And they sit me down, and they serve me beer, and they serve me chicken, and everyone's celebrating. And I feel like I've achieved my mission. I'm having beers with the locals, and we're making friends with everybody except for one man at the back. He's got a green hat with a red star of the Communist Army. And he's looking at me with a hatred I can feel burning into my skin. And everyone is silent when he walks up to the table and he stands over me. He puts his hands in the air. And he goes, "America!" I go, "Oh, fuck." I don't know what to say. I mean, I wasn't even alive when the war happened. I voted for Obama. And he has his fist is so clenched that when he motions for me to stand up, I know that one of these things is going to come swinging for my face. And in the moment, I'm ready to take it. I'm just like, please. We did it. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. But instead, his fist unclenches into an open hand, a gesture of peace. And he puts it in mine, and he raises our hands in the air. And the bombs falling like this are in the past. And everyone, they raise their glasses to us, and we cheers to Vietnam, we cheers to America, we cheers to the peace of all nations. And I realized that my journey was idiotic and naive and idealistic, but maybe it was the universe's weird way of bringing me to this exact moment so that this man could have a chance to make peace with his former enemy. Thank you.
Marko.